Hey, I'm Seth Johnson with Land House. For the past 2 days, it has rained and rained and rained. Probably more rain than I have seen us get here in the 4 years that we've lived in this house. So I thought we would take a walk down to the creek and see what kind of flow rate we have at flood stage. It's kind of difficult though because it's nighttime. So Wowtack, a flashlight company that I've used for a while now, sent the A6. So let's go out in the dark and test out this light and see what we get here out in the woods. So this thing is pretty powerful for such a small light. Let's see here. Let's go ahead and ramp it up. There we go. You can see pretty good with that, right? You won't believe how loud the creek is when we get down here. So, all right, I'm gonna turn off the camera, and so when I get down here to the creek, we'll see what kind of craziness we have. Let's, in the meantime, try out the extra bright mode. There we go. So the tiny house over there, playhouse. You can see this thing is pretty bright. It's also got something I like called a firefly mode. If you hold down the light, can you even see that? Oh, just a little tiny light. Helps you see, like to read or something. But anyway, let's walk down here to the creek. Normally this creek runs pretty silent, from the house at least. But I can hear this roaring all the way up the creek up there. So let's head down here and see how crazy this thing is. Whoa. Man, check that out. That's not where the creek is supposed to be. The creek is supposed to be over there. Ram pump is underwater. All right, I'm gonna try and jump over here. I'm wearing sandals in the middle of February. It's gonna be cold. I don't see a good spot to jump over. All right. Okay, hold on. Feet are about to get wet. Woo-hoo, that's cold. All right. Is trying to wash away our bucket there. Whew, this water is cold. Looks like we have a blockage up here. If I can clear that, maybe it will help prevent some of that stuff from going on. Okay, so I just cleared that blockage. I also opened up the flume. You can see rushing down there. If I had to guess, I'm gonna say this is 400 gallons a minute. It's pretty substantial. Okay, so last thing I want to show you out here is just check to see where the turbine's gonna be for the micro hydro project, to make sure that this much water isn't going to flood out the turbine. Yeah, we're wanting to put it right over there, so no worries about flooding. Cool. I just remembered why I didn't have the flume running. There's more blockage up here that's causing a little waterfall where it's not supposed to be. I may go shut it off again real quick. So Wowtack also wants me to test out how waterproof their lights are and do a drop test. So let's combine the two and do a drop test into the water. So I've got it on. Let's turn it on to brighter here. Okay, I'm just going to drop it right over in that pool right there. Just kind of a light little toss here. There we go. Seems to be working just fine. So there you go. Works underwater. I left one of their lights in a little pool of water for about 5 minutes one time, and it worked just fine after that. Okay, let's head out of here because my feet are a bit cold. Okay, so that's probably the most water I've seen in that creek for sure. It's hard to guess, but I'm thinking somewhere around 400 gallons per minute. Okay, so these lights are pretty cool. Let's just kind of go through here. You got USB charging and a clip, so you can do an everyday carry if you want. And then they've got just some extra O-rings in there. So let's just go through here. It's got a single button on, and that's where that light comes. If you hold it down, it will scroll through these different settings. If you hold down for when it's off, you'll get that firefly mode. And then if you hold down long while it's on firefly mode, it will lock. So I have to hold again to get it to come back on. Double tap is a bright mode and turns it back off. And it does have memory, so it comes back onto that same feature. I just measured from this log across here to this point right here is 10 foot. I'm thinking I can use these rocks right here to hammer in a wedge of 2x4 to keep that supported against the rock. Same thing over here. I can use this dirt wad right here, hammer in a support and push against the board. And then I will probably also have a support going straight down into the creek to push the box up against the wall there. So anyway, it may be a trial and error, but I think we can get it to stay in there. I just used the bucket to test the flow rate of the creek. About a quarter of the water filled the 5-gallon bucket in 3 seconds. So a quarter of that is 100 gallons a minute. So I'm going to say 400 gallons a minute flowing right now. The reason I'm doing this is because I want to get a flood stage flow rate and see how much of my intake is going to be consumed by the water. So my idea is to build my box here and have a board stretch out over here with some supports. And it looks like I'll have plenty of space to support on the sides without the water washing it away. So anyway, it's a good idea. I just ran the math on the amount of water that's flowing down the creek here with my 150-foot drop. It would produce $5,000 worth of electricity at my current rate in a year. That would be pretty awesome, but typically instead of 5.4 thousand watts a day, we'll be making around 300 to 400. Man, what a crazy 3 days. Went from 65 to 30 to 20 in different days, and now we've got snow. So shorts weather down to having to deal with all of this. Yeah. Welcome to North Carolina. Thanks for watching. Bye.